Well, listen, if you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help.
All right, buckle up, because here's where it gets wild. When you've got nothing of substance to say, what do? You ramble. And I mean ramble. It's an endless stream of words, no real point, just a non-stop flood that leaves everyone tuning out. But let's talk about The View, specifically the women who seem completely out of touch with the average American. It's almost like they live on a different planet, and frankly, they might want to consider getting their news from, well, anywhere other than their own echo chamber.
She's probably been put in there because according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. Well, that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
Now for years, Whoopi Goldberg has sat in the captain's chair on The View. She's practically ruled the show like royalty, cutting off guests mid-sentence, steamrolling over opposing views, and presenting her personal opinions like they were divine truths. But there was one moment that showed us all how fragile her reign really was. It all started like any other day on The View. Smug laughs, eye rolls, and a panel of heads nodding in perfect unison, all marching to the beat of their left-wing agenda. But then, Caroline Leavitt stepped onto the stage, and suddenly, everything changed.
I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Caroline, thank you very much for your time.
Whoopi, feeling invincible as always, fired the first shot. She pointed at Caroline and said, and I quote, "Without wokeness, you wouldn't even have this job." Bam! The room went dead silent. You could feel the energy shift, the tension building up. Even Joy Behar, a woman who's built her career on mocking conservatives, shifted uncomfortably in her chair. And Whoopi, she thought she was going to be on top of the world after that little jab. Spoiler alert, she wasn't. Let's be honest. Whoopi's next words were as predictable as they were irritating. You've heard this a million times before, right? The condescending, dismissive, I'm right, you're wrong tone she loves so much. But here's the kicker. Caroline didn't flinch. She didn't scramble for a clever comeback. No, she did something far more powerful. She smiled. Not just any smile. A slow, knowing smile. One that said, you just made a huge mistake. And then she flipped the script. Now, if you're loving this showdown, make sure to like and subscribe, because things are about to get even juicier. Caroline didn't just throw out some weak counterpoint. Numbers she brought hard, undeniable facts. Government spending reports. You know, the kind of stuff you can't argue with, no matter how hard you try.
In a statement afterwards, this young lady claimed her, quote, on-air snub proves that you-know-who will not be treated fairly in the upcoming debate. Now, do you think this is going to make people doubt whether CNN can stay objective, or is this more the same of, everybody's against me, it's all rigged, I tell you. Is everything rigged?
No, it's their MO. That's what they do. Rachel Maddow said last week, she's like, if the election is lost, it was rigged. If there's a debate, then the moderators are probably biased and they're prejudiced against me.
She started laying out the numbers, showing exactly how taxpayer dollars were being funneled into absurdly woke programs. Gender studies in Guatemala, Sesame Street pushing American activism globally, you name it. With the precision of a surgeon, Caroline connected the dots. Wokeness had transformed from a social movement into a political weapon, one used to silence anyone who dared to oppose it. And Whoopi, oh, she wasn't laughing anymore. The atmosphere had completely shifted. For once, Whoopi Goldberg was on the defensive. The woman who's built her career on bulldozing over people was now the one fumbling for words. She shifted in her seat, trying desperately to regain control, but it was too late.
Divisive and disgusting speech that any president, certainly in my lifetime, has ever given. He essentially waged war on half of the country by saying that we are all a threat to democracy because we believe in putting America first. It's not radical to want to put your country and your own people first. It's not radical to want to have a strong border, a strong military, and to unleash the might of your own economy, not economies around the world.
Caroline wasn't letting her off the hook. Whoopi opened her mouth, then shut it. Tried again, still nothing. The audience, usually so quick to cheer for Whoopi, sat frozen in awkward silence. Even the camera crew seemed unsure. Should they zoom in on Whoopi's stunned face, or just cut to commercial and hope no one noticed? And let's get real for a second. This wasn't just about a disagreement on wokeness. It was about something deeper. Caroline had exposed a glaring hypocrisy. If wokeness is supposed to be about diversity and inclusion, why is it that conservative women are the ones constantly attacked?
You know, we have seen cultural Marxism trickling its way through every institution in this country. The public school system, the higher education university system, Hollywood, big tech, the corrupt mainstream media that I fought against in President Trump's White House are indoctrinating my generation of Americans into hating our country, hating one another based on race and gender and all of this other BS, quite frankly.
Why is it that those who preach tolerance turn vicious when faced with someone who doesn't fall in line with their agenda? Whoopi, visibly trapped, had no sharp retort, no witty comeback. The silence stretched on, thick with tension. Desperate to recover, Joy Behar tried to lighten the mood with a weak joke, but it was obvious. The damage was done. Whoopi had completely unraveled in front of millions.
You know, listen, if you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Right.
That's what you hear.
Yeah.
When they don't have anything to hold you with, nothing to make you think about what they have to say.
And if you think that was a tough moment for Whoopi, just wait. The internet had a field day. Reaction videos, memes, commentary, it was everywhere. But this wasn't the first time Whoopi had landed herself in hot water. From tone-deaf comments about the Holocaust to bizarre defenses of controversial figures, Whoopi's history is littered with scandals. But this was different. Here's where it gets crazy. The View has been dragged into a wave of defamation lawsuits. First it was Carrie Underwood, then Elon Musk, and now Caroline Leavitt. Each lawsuit piling up, each one more damaging than the last.
They talk at you, not to you, and that's what she was doing, and she was doing it, and it's not new.
No.
But everybody's hip to you all now.
Yeah.
And we are anticipating that you are not prepared. Because you keep saying you going and you preparing when you're on the trail.
Whoopi's unchecked commentary has cost ABC big time. And the worst part, she couldn't blame anyone else. This time, the fallout was all on her. Let's take a look at Carrie Underwood for a second. After performing at Trump's second inauguration, Whoopi and the panel went on the attack. They mocked her performance, tried to ruin her career, and accused her of aligning with hate. But Carrie didn't sit back and take it. She filed a $1 billion defamation lawsuit against The View, and when the case hit court, some explosive revelations came to light. It turned out that ABC had orchestrated the entire smear campaign to boost ratings. Yeah, you heard that right. Calculated, intentional drama. When the truth came out, ABC executives were forced to settle, and the whispers started. Is The View even worth the trouble anymore? But the chaos didn't end there.
That you saw live on this program yesterday. Joy Behar stirring the pot of controversy after saying this about Carolyn.
She's probably been putting there because according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Do you want to take this?
No, you cannot be attractive and smart. I will try to give Joy the benefit, and oh, thank you. I try to give Joy the benefit of the doubt that she didn't see that briefing. Because if you saw that yesterday on numerous topics, no big binder, I think she might have had a different impression of this young woman who held her own.
Whoopi and the host turned their sights on Elon Musk, spreading false claims about Twitter under his ownership. Musk didn't let that slide either. He sued, and once again, The View was thrust into crisis mode. Advertisers pulled back. Ratings took a hit. The cracks in The View were widening. Fast forward to today. Whoopi's time on the show came to an end after that showdown with Caroline.
Yeah.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation.
It wasn't even a graceful exit. ABC tried to spin it as a break for Whoopi, but it was clear she'd been let go. The damage was done. The network was in full damage control mode as advertisers pulled their support. Fans started questioning whether the show could survive without Whoopi. Now, The View is at a crossroads. Do they bring in someone like Whoopi to keep the status quo, or will they finally change direction? Is this the beginning of the end for the show? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And remember, this is just the beginning.